Hi everybody, welcome to another video. This video we're going to cover the Ultra Athlete slash F.A support. So what I've noticed with the Raid Raptor Phantom Knight and now with this, they're printing support for two archetypes combined together. So maybe we'll start to see this trend where two archetypes will have support that works for both of them and they'll start working together a wee bit. But this one's going to cover the Ultra Athletes and the F.A support, quote unquote. It's not got really FA in the name, but it works as FA cards. So without that, let's get into the Ultra Athletes. So first one, we've got a Ultra Athlete Liberio Spiker, level 4 Earth Warrior effect monster, 1800 attack and defense. You can special summon this card using its first effect once per turn, and then you can use the second effect once per turn as well. So you can only special summon this card by its first effect once per turn, and you can also use its second effect once per turn essentially. It's just a really awkward way of them wording it. So you can special summon this card from your hand by returning one UA monster from you control to the hand, except itself. And then during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, shuffle a level 5 or higher UA monster from your hand or into the deck. And if you do special summon a UA monster with a different name from that monster from your deck, then return this card from the field to the hand. This is what UA's needed really badly. They needed another level 4 monster, because as in from today, the only monster that they only had one level 4 monster they can normal summon. So when these guys went off, they really did like a lot of hand looping and stuff like that. So they bounced back a hand, bounced back a hand, bounced back a hand, bounced back the hand. But now they have another monster that can essentially be normal summoned, which helps to speed up the deck a wee bit. And it's not essentially dead by brick possibly straight away. Second monster, Ultra Athlete Playing Manager, UA Playing Manager, level 8 Earth Warrior effect monster, attack 2000, defense 2600. You can only use this card's first and second effect once per turn. If you normal or special summon a UA monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, activate one of these effects. Target a card in the field, destroy it, and they get the effects of all face-up monsters on the field except UA monsters. I have read these before, and I wasn't really paying attention to them, and because I was more focused on the FA stuff. But yeah, this is great. This is definitely a 3 of in the deck, because the minute you special summon any UA monster, you're essentially getting one of these onto the board. Now, the only thing I don't know about is if you can do this during your opponent's turn. So essentially, you put this onto the board during your opponent's turn, you bounce one of them back, special summon itself, then this thing goes off again and special summons itself. So essentially, this is a way of flooding the board with UA monsters if it works the way I think it does. And then the fact that it just destroys a card on the field when it's special summoned, more interruptions, which is great, and then or negating the whole board. Overall, just looking at these two monsters, this is great support for UAs because they really needed this over the years. I know a couple of guys that are UA players. They have the decks, and this was something that they were crying out for ages, a way of putting more monsters on the board or another level 4 monster they can normal summon. So the fact that they're getting both is great for them. We got another field spell, so it's Ultra Athlete Hyper Stadium, or UA Stadium. This card is also always treated as an FA card, so this is where we're starting to get into the FA support for these guys. When this card resolves, you can add one UA monster from your deck to your hand, or one FA monster from your deck to your hand. Or you can add a UA Stadium from your graveyard. So this is one of the rotas for the UA monsters. So essentially you get a rota, or you essentially get a UA monster, because the way UA Stadium works is when you normal or special summon a UA monster, you can add another one to your hand. Its other effect is you can reveal one field spell in your hand, pay 1000 life points. During your main phase, you can get an additional normal summon of a UA or an FA monster in addition to your normal summon or set. You only gain this effects once per turn. The fact this is always treated as an FA card, I would need to double check this, because FA Auto Navigator searches out an FA field spell card. So let me double check the effect of FA Auto Navigator for you. I'll read it out for you as well, just so you know what FA Auto Navigator does. So, it's because of the space. Auto Navigator. So unprofessional, looking up card during the video. So if this card is in your hand, you can target an FA monster. So this is where the main thing happens. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one FA field spell from your deck to your hand. So the fact that this is always treated as an FA card, I don't know if FA Auto Navigator can also search this out If it does, this helps FAs tremendously because they brick so badly because there's only really 12 normal summonable monsters in the deck, and if you don't open one of them, the deck is essentially dead. Same as UAs, but now with this being a rota for the archetype, which is what they really needed, and the fact it gives them additional normal summon, this helps. This helps as well. Also, the fact it's treated as an FA card, all the FA monsters will gain levels from this card because it's treated as an FA card. Because their text is worded, whenever an FA spell or trap card or effect is activated, you gain a level, and the fact this is always treated as that, you will get that level boost. The same with the other two cards as well, because they're always treated as an FA card. Next one, UA Locker Room, quick play. This card is also treated as an FA card, so again, you will get the level up again from this card for your FA monsters. You only activate one of these cards per turn. Target a UA or FA monster on the field or in your graveyard. Return it to your hand, gain 500 life points. Then you can apply the following effect. Reveal any number of monsters in your hand to your opponent, and if you do, shuffle those cards revealed into the deck, then draw cards equal to the amount of cards returned to the deck. You're mainly going to run this as a one of an FA. The fact that this returns a card from the graveyard to the hand is great. You will probably not bounce a card from the field back to your hand. You'll probably use this for graveyard recursion, and the 500 life points isn't really essential. It helps mitigate the life loss from the field spell activating, but overall you're mainly going to use this for the bouncing the card back from your graveyard to your hand. And then you can also, if you want to, shuffle cards back into the deck and draw that many cards. Helps fix your hand a bit. So if you have a lot of monsters already on board and you have just a hand of monsters, it helps dig for your spell cards again that you might need for the FAs or for the UAs to get the monsters that they need to start doing their effects again. And then the final one is a trap card. Again, this card is always treated as an FA card, so you will get the level up again from this card. Ultra Athlete Man of the Match, or UA MVP. You can only use this card with its name's effect once per turn. If a UA or FA monster destroys the opponent's monster by battle or inflicts battle damage to your opponent, after damage calculation, soul charge. With different names. From your hand or graveyard in defense position. It's essentially what it is. It's a soul charge from hand or graveyard. This is a great card. The only problem being, it's a trap card. So you're not using this straight away the turn that this happens. However, you can get very tricky with this card, especially in FA. So your opponent will more than likely, because it says inflicts battle damage to your opponent after damage calculation. What you can do is with downforce, if your opponent attacks thinking that they have a monster with less attack, you can activate downforce, raise the attack of the monster by 2 levels, and then a 3rd level, destroy the opponent's monster by battle and then inflict battle damage as well, then essentially soul charge. So it essentially relies on your opponent attacking you and being stupid, but if your opponent does do that, you essentially get a soul charge for that, and your opponent will probably be flooded with monsters on your side of the field. And then on top of that, your monster that was originally on the board gets another level from on top of that as well. So overall, that's great support for FA, for UA as well. I know I've been talking a lot about FA cards in relation to this, but I played FA, I know how FA run, and this support does help them tremendously in terms of that aspect. I never played UA, I know people who do play UA, and from what I've gathered, based off this alone, they have a lot of good support as well. So I actually do think this pushes FA and UA to another tier entirely. They're not just casual decks anymore. They do have now a fighting chance, because now essentially they have another rota. And that's the main thing, is that they have the rota to now fix their hand. And another level 4 monster for UA and a way to special summon. And then FA monsters have a way of helping to further extend their plays and stuff like that. But with that, guys, that's the video. Please give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.